I'm a solo founder and I just run my first ads. Here's why. For the last 4 weeks, I wasn't just throwing money at Meta or TikTok. I was rebuilding my entire system so that when I finally pressed publish, those ads would actually make sense. And trust me, it was way harder to get here than I thought. When I got the idea to run ads for my website, Resume Photo AI, I thought it would be pretty simple. I spend some money on ads, people come to my website and buy my products, and everyone is happy. But without a proper system in place, I'm basically throwing my money into the fire. So my website Resume Photo AI was a pretty simple page. It was just a one-pager. I had no retargeting, no newsletter, nothing to keep users engaged. And if someone didn't buy instantly, they are pretty much gone. So instead of rushing into running ads, I stopped for a moment and spent some time watching YouTube videos, tutorials, and talked with ChatGPT how I can properly set this up. So I pretty much built a new entire system for the website. I've covered this in my last video, how the entire system works and what I've built, but to keep it short, we have now multiple different product pages, a blog for SEO, but also for tools like ChatGPT, a free tool to check your profile picture, and most importantly, and really I wish I had added this sooner, is a newsletter funnel. You go to the website, you scroll a bit, and then you see this big card where you get 20% off on your purchase if you subscribe to the newsletter. And I think the best feature I added is if you got a lot of tabs open, my website will actually stick out a little bit more because the title is changing. And once you click on the tab, I will instantly prompt them with a pop-up and showing them, if you subscribe now, you get 20% off. And really, if you want to have this product, it is a no-brainer. And this actually works. Okay, given that I don't have a lot of email subscribers yet, because the whole point is to get more traffic to the website, but still around 80% of those subscribers made a purchase. And I think that's a huge signal that this is working. And I think really the whole point is of having the system in place is that I can retarget those people that forgot to buy the product. They were interested in the product, they subscribed to the newsletter, so why not send them a reminder that, hey, you forgot something. If you're still interested, here is your discount code. And suddenly, not every visitor has to make a purchase immediately. So before I had this in place, every visitor had to make the purchase immediately. I had no way to retarget them. So the problem I had before was when someone comes to my website, I had no way to reach them again. But now if someone subscribed to our newsletter, I can have 3 touch points with them. I think this is the missing part for our ad campaign. Before that, there was really only one way. I spend money on ads, people see the ad, come to my website and make a choice. If they don't buy the product, I have to retarget them again with another ad. And this is basically the part where I would be burning a lot of money just to get one customer. And with the newsletter system in place, I get 3 touch points for free, which means I can spend less money on ads, ideally. But there's still one thing missing. If I want to run ads on Facebook and Instagram, I need analytics. So what I did is I built out a proper tracking system where people land, what they click on, and where they drop off. And also I built a dedicated landing page for people coming from ads, because our default landing page has a ton of information, which is not bad, but at the same time it can be overwhelming for people who are just impulse buying. So what I did is I built a dedicated landing page with the bare minimum really. Before and after headshot, the confidence boost you will get, the discount I promised in the ad, and the checkout. If they click on the checkout button, they will see the newsletter pop up. I will A/B test this to figure out what works best. Subscribing to the newsletter and then making the purchase, or making the purchase instantly. The newsletter flow has a bit more friction, but I can retarget them 3 times. On the other hand, the other one has less friction and you can just buy the product if you want. So I'm not really sure which one will perform better, so I'm just A/B testing it. To figure out what kind of ads I want to run, I did 2 things. First, because I watched a lot of YouTube videos about how to run ads, I found out this little cool trick. You can actually spy on your competitors. Meta's ad library shows you all the currently running ads. What that means is I can just select a country, select the keywords, and then see all the ads that are still running. And if an ad is running for a couple of months, that's a pretty good sign that the ad is doing pretty well. Because I don't think most companies will spend money on ads that are not performing well. So I took one format from another company, adjusted it to my product, and decided to run it alongside my own creation. And the second thing is I run an experiment. What I did is I tried an experiment on TikTok, created a new account, and pretty much built an AI, let's say influencer. It's not really an influencer because I don't have any reach, but the posts on TikTok are AI generated. Most of them didn't really get a lot of attention, but two did kind of decent. I think one reason is because the account is pretty new and TikTok still has to figure out who my target audience is. But at the same time, it's AI content. Maybe it's just bad. I will still use this one TikTok because I think it shows the struggle and the pain of a customer pretty well. I thought about running ads on Google, but the amount of money I have to spend per click is just too big. I am competing against VC-backed companies, so there's no way I can afford that. So I am focusing more on Facebook and Instagram, but also want to try out TikTok. And since I have added the Meta pixel to my website, Meta has a pretty good understanding of who my target audience is because we have made a couple of sales in the past 30 days. Oh yeah, and I think all the effort I am putting into marketing and building out the system is kind of showing in the sales. I'm not getting a lot of sales, but it has increased over the last month by 60%, which is kind of cool. We have roughly made $400 and I'm getting a sale pretty much every other day. Meta can use that to find more people like my existing customers. They literally want me to succeed because if I make sales, I will spend more money on ads. So my budget is around $300 for the month of September. That's like $10 per day. It's not huge, but I think it's enough to collect some data. If an average customer spends $30, I'm actually okay to spend $20 just to get that one customer. Even if I barely break even, I will get the extra data I need. And Meta can then use that to improve the targeting for new customers. And of course, I can improve the funnel. And the bigger picture really is to help the customer along the way. My goal is to support them throughout their journey of finding a new job. So the headshots are kind of the entry point. Once someone has bought the headshots, I can show them the resume builder I also created. Basically, hey, you have your headshots now, but it's also pretty time consuming to create resumes. So why not use a tool that makes your life easier? And if they like the resume builder, why not take them to career coaches I know to support them even further throughout their journey? I don't think of it as squeezing as much money out of them. I'm thinking giving them everything they need to land a new job. And yeah, that's pretty much how I run my ad campaign as a solo founder. $300 in budget and running it through September. I think it will take a couple of months before we can see real results, but I will keep you posted. That's it from my side. See you in the next one. Bye.